Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 1, This World is a Bit Wrong. I entered June, and the East China Sea was already hot like a big stove. The sky is blue and no cloud can be seen. The hot sun is like a huge fireball hanging high above the sky. Donghai No. 1 Middle School. 5:30 in the afternoon. Bell bell bell. When the bell rang at the end of class, the whole campus seemed to wake up from a deep sleep, and there was a loud noise. After a short while, a large number of students rushed out of the various teaching buildings, and 3 or 5 clusters of jokes and walked towards the school gate. "It's too hot this day," someone cursed. "Wang Teng, drink at the Rose Bar in the evening." A voice pulled Wang Teng back from his thoughts to reality. Su Jie. He looked at the person, his face was familiar, and long-term memory flowed from the back of his mind. This was a playmate in his high school circle. "Let's play, I won't go at night, a little headache," Wang Teng said. Su Jie hurriedly said, "Don't introduce it, brother Wang Teng. Our small circle has few people at first. It's boring if you don't come, and we haven't got together for a while. So, change the time tomorrow. King Wang Teng shook his head and said helplessly, "Then tomorrow night." "Okay, I told Xiaowei that they should meet again tomorrow night." Su Jie smiled happily. The two walked to the gate of the school, and there was a sudden disturbance in front of them. "Oh, what's going on? So many people are around." Su Jie wondered. "I went to see." I said that he had already run up, pushed the crowd out of the crowd and reached the front of the crowd. Wang Teng put his hands in his pockets and walked slowly. When several students saw him, they gave way to each other in fear that they might get into him. "My own name is really big enough." King Wang Teng could not help laughing at himself. Unfortunately, it is not a good reputation. He walked to the front of the crowd and saw on the open space, a girl beat a few yellow-green social youths with hair dyed to the ground, crying father and mother, looking at the girl's eyes full of fear. Combining the discussions around him, he probably understands what happened. Some social youths like to gather in high school and junior high schools, and select students who seem to be bullying, blackmail, etc. Feared to be in trouble, most of the students suffered and swallowed their voices, which helped fuel the turmoil over time. Just after school, a few yellow hairs and green hairs met Himanrong, and when she saw that she was beautiful, she couldn't help coming forward to make fun of her and made a few swear words. They did not expect that Himanrong was not just a soft persimmon that anyone could need, but a rose with a thorn. She shot with anger, she couldn't get up in 3 or 2 hits. "Goddess, he is worthy of being a high-ranking warrior." Those young people in society are now kicking the iron plate. A male student next to him shook his fist, and the acne on his face was slightly red because he was too excited. Hearing his words, he regarded Himanrong as a goddess. "I heard that Himanrong was a school bully before. I didn't expect her to be so powerful. Have she ever practiced Taekwondo?" The legendary black belt 9 paragraphs. But then again, these long legs are really rare, only the high school figure is so good, I will have it in the future. Wang Teng is feeling Himanrong's strength, and by the way admire the beauty of the world. Suddenly he hears the word, senior martial artist, and his face freezes instantly. He's a little dazed. Did I hear something wrong? I was also right. I was just born again, and my spirit was a little bit embarrassing. It was forgivable to hear wrong. At this time, Su Jie came together and said enviously, "Our school has a total of 5 senior warriors. Himanrong is the only girl among them, or an ordinary family. It is really a genius." Wang Teng was speechless. It seems that the senior warrior with a special god was right. But, what is going on when a good urban rebirth comes out suddenly? Is this born again? King Wang Teng felt malicious from all over the world and was full of doubts inside. When Himanrong saw so many people attracted, his brows frowned slightly, and he didn't bother about the clutter on the ground and left. As soon as she left, the crowd of people watching naturally dispersed. Wang Teng and Su Jie parted ways at the school gate. Wang Teng found the car to pick him up. Amidst the envy of the students, he took the BMW parked on the roadside and walked away. In the car, he looked at the continuously regressing street view outside the window, and was a little bit surprised. At this time he noticed that the trees on both sides of the street were extremely tall and the vegetation was very lush. These plants are too nutritious, no wonder they always felt a little offensive in school. The school's vegetation is also extremely lush, but he has been immersed in a matter of rebirth, but he didn't notice it. Along the way, what he saw and heard surprised Wang Teng. Clean and tidy streets, passerbys' avant-garde dressing style, commercial prosperity, and so on. It's not like in 2009, not even 2019 when he was reborn. This world really has problems. Wang Teng's head was in chaos, and he suddenly saw a 20-year-old urban beauty walking along the street with a big fluffy dog. This should be fine, but the dog is too big, the size of a small calf. He couldn't help but swear. I depend, what breed is this dog? Such a big one. He took a deep breath, calmed down, and was frightened by touching his chin. It looks like a golden retriever, but this is too big, right? Next, he saw several people holding pets. Those pet dogs are very large, and their body shape is completely beyond the standard. Some parents let children ride on big dogs to go shopping. Pet dogs are now mounted. He also saw a pet cat with 2 tails, and the size was also huge, like a cheetah. But they all seem very well behaved. Yu reads www. The passers-by around yuukangshu.com do not seem to be surprised, they do not treat them as beasts at all. Wang Teng was a little numb. This is definitely not his original world. Even if the classmates are those classmates, the school is also that school, but some things are obviously off. After driving for more than 20 minutes, arrived at Fuhua Villa area. After a round of 7 rounds and 7 rounds, the car finally stopped in front of a villa. I'm fine, my home is still here. Speaking of them, their family is also a big and small rich. Wang Teng's grandfather has 4 children, and his father, Wang Xinghua, ranks second in the family and has considerable business abilities. He set up his own stove and established Xingting Group, second only to Rongxing Group founded by Grandpa Wang Teng. Both Xingting Group and Rongxing Group are large companies with assets over 100 million yuan. However, Wang Teng knows that there are many companies like this in the world. The Wang family may be a good 1/3 in this acre, but in the face of those really big consortia, they are just bigger ants. In the last life, the Wang family offended people, and they were stabbed to the end. After only a few months, the company went bankrupt. The king's family was completely destroyed and became a past tense. 2 companies with billions of dollars sounds good, but the results are not enough. I have to say that this is ironic. King Wang Teng fell from the sky. In the next few years, he lived a life that is not as good as a pig and dog, and suffered repression and humiliation until he was born again. No, maybe it was not born again. The world has changed so much, I don't know what the royal family will become. Even, are your parents still the original parents? Don't come in, even your parents changed. No. No. Wang Teng comforted himself quickly. He was not at peace, took a deep breath, and stepped into the villa door. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 2, Principle of Peaceful Coexistence. At this moment in 2009, the villas in Fuhua district had reached more than 20,000 square meters. The Wang Teng family's villa has 800 square feet. It cost more than 10 million yuan when it started, and the decoration cost more than 20 million yuan. When I walked into the villa, I saw the spacious hall. 2 maids are cleaning. Queen Mother Li Shumei is busy in the kitchen. She was born in Shuxiang Mendi. When she was young, she was a well-known talent in the university, but it wasn't that she had no fingers. On the contrary, her cooking skills are very exquisite, and her cooking always makes Wang Teng and his son praise. So Li Shumei cooks herself and cooks every day until her husband and son come back to eat. I watched the busy figure in the kitchen and smelled the smell of familiar food. Wang Teng stood at the kitchen door and opened his mouth. It took a long time to shout. Mom, I'm back. I'm home. Li Shumei turned back and smiled. Wait a while, your dad should be home soon, and wait for him to eat together. Okay. I'll wash my face first. Wang Ting rushed upstairs without going back and ran into the bathroom. This child. What happened today? Li Shumei shook her head. In the bathroom, Wang Ting turned on the faucet and let the cold water wash his face. Came back. I didn't expect that there would be a chance to return to this home after 10 years. After the Wang family was ruined, Wang Xingguo was secretly passed away. It didn't take long for Li Shumei to be depressed. Yi Wangting raised his head, wiped his face, and looked at himself in the mirror with red eyes. 10 years has changed too much. King Wangting changed, he is no longer the original he, in the previous life, his heart has become as hard as iron. But in fact, somewhere in the bottom of his heart, there are still some soft spots hidden, but he didn't want to touch them before. Wang Wangting wiped his face, walked out of the bathroom, followed his memory to open his bedroom, and walked in. Familiar furnishings, familiar everything. On the wall are posters of NBA stars. Bookshelves are filled with music discs and novels. The desk is near the window, not far from the bed, and there is a computer on the table. Computer model is very new, and it is still Apple brand, bright silver body is light and stylish. Is another item that does not fit the timeline. When I saw the computer, he suddenly remembered something, and found a mobile phone from his school bag. It really is not the old antique of 2009, but the latest Apple 8. Wang Wangting was mentally prepared, entered the password calmly, and turned on the phone. He was suddenly very fortunate that he was a person who could not remember his password. He had used the same password for so many years and had not changed it. Mommy, are you hungry? WeChat, Douyin. Many of the software apps in it only came out later, there was no such thing in 2009. I just reborn, he still wanted to rely on the memory of previous lives, all the way to attack the upper ranks, let Jack Ma, Pony Brothers, and so on sing to conquer collectively. Wow, it's over now. After exhaling, he put down his phone and turned on the computer. There is no way, it is more convenient than searching online. Computers and mobile phones have developed to such an extent that there is no reason why the network has remained in 2009. Technology and the internet are inseparable. After turning on the computer, Wang Ting was a little surprised. The computer's operating system is not Win 10, but 11 generations. It seems that it is not exactly the same level of development as 2019, and there are still differences. He became familiar for a while before getting used to it. Open Baidu browser and search for the word warrior, a lot of information was brushed out. After more than an hour, Wang Ting closed his browser and leaned on his chair, his face was incredible. 30 years ago, there were spatial cracks all over the world, and the other end of the cracks connected the other world, the Xingwu continent. The Xingwu continent, the force exists, everyone cultivates the force to become a warrior. The warrior is extremely powerful. The lower-ranked warrior opened the monument and cracked the stone, pumped the knife to cut off the water, the higher-ranked warrior destroyed the mountains and broken mountains, and turned the river. This is too fantasy. Yi Wangting didn't know what to say. Earth scientists have researched the force and found that it is probably dark matter, but why the people and animals and plants of the Xingwu continent can absorb dark matter to change themselves, but the Earth's creatures cannot do it, and they have no way of knowing it. Not long after, with the emergence of space cracks, the Earth seemed to have undergone some changes, and Earth's organisms began to be affected by dark matter. Cormorant plants have become taller and more lush, and some species that have long since disappeared have reappeared in the world. The tadpoles have also become larger, and their physical characteristics, such as scale armor, pointed claws, and teeth have been strengthened. There are even some talented animals that have mutated and have special abilities such as gold, wood, water, fire and soil. As human beings and primates, human beings are also naturally evolving. The human body has also become stronger, running faster, jumping higher, more powerful, and longer life, and longer. Most of those old people who were in their 70s and 80s 30 years ago are still alive. They are more than 100 years old, and their mental state is no different from that of 60s and 70s. Earth people are crazy. All countries in the world have abandoned their suspicions and held a global joint conference. Finally, he decided to organize manpower to explore the cracks in space, and after confirming the security, he dispatched soldiers and experts and scholars from various fields to station in the Xingwu continent. These people are called pioneers. The Xingwu continent is vast and vast. Pioneers claim to be from overseas, gain the trust of locals, and communicate and trade with them. Earth people are not barbaric invasion, but adopted the principle of peaceful coexistence proposed by the leaders of Huaxia to get along with the indigenous people of Xingwu mainland in a gentle manner. Before long, the pioneers brought back the cultivation methods of Xingwu continent. After research and attempts, human beings on the earth can practice, and ultimately, countries unanimously decide to open the practice method and open the era of civil martial arts. This is a major change. History has taken a big turn since then, developing along unpredictable directions. Here are the key points on the blackboard. The most powerful part of human beings is wisdom. Through cultivation, human beings quickly strengthen themselves. In just a few years, a large number of powerful warriors have emerged around the world. Some of these warriors entered the military, some entered the main government, and some belonged to various large consortia and large families, forming alliances, and some civilian free warriors were unwilling to be restrained. Various martial arts pavilions were provided to provide training channels for civilians. It is with the presence of these warriors that we can block some mutated and powerful beasts out of the city and not cause large-scale impact and destruction on civilized society. However, a warrior is a profession that requires talent after all, and not everyone can become a warrior. In order to become a formal warrior, he must lay a solid foundation and lay a solid foundation. The practitioners at this stage are the so-called warriors. The foundation is strong enough to absorb the force and store it in the body, which is a formal warrior. If you compare the force to water, the body is a container of water. The process of absorbing the force is like filling water into the container. Only by widening and strengthening the container can you hold more water. The martial arts practice principle is simply that. The martial arts warriors can be divided into 3 levels of elementary, middle and high according to their overall physical qualities such as strength and speed. He Manrong, who met at the gate of the school before, was a senior martial artist, only 1 step away from the formal martial artist. However, this step is difficult for many people. There is a qualitative difference between whether or not absorbing the force into the body. A formal warrior who has cultivated the force can fight 10 high-level warriors without the force and without pressure. It seems that there is almost a gap between a high-level warrior and a formal warrior, but it is like a gap. Furthermore, the poor are rich in culture and martial arts. The training of warriors requires a lot of resources and the resources are expensive. All in all, in the face of a large base, the number of warriors is still a minority, and most people are just slightly stronger ordinary people. But this does not prevent the warrior from becoming mainstream, but the scarcity and importance of the warrior have created its transcendental status. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 3, starting today. More than 7 in the evening. Wang Ting's talents finally sat together for dinner. Your dad's car is halfway, and the company is a little bit different. Once it has been delayed for more than an hour, you can't go home after dinner. Li Xiumei complained to Wang Ting. Wang Ting checked the information in the room for more than an hour, but forgot to eat. Fortunately, his father happened to be late. Emergency matters, you can only go back to deal with it. Wang Xinghua said helplessly. Let's ignore your dad, he will focus on his broken company. Li Xiumei rolled her eyes towards Wang Xinghua. Wang Ting smiled in his heart. In fact, during high school, Wang Ting's relationship with his dad was a bit stiff. Wang Xinghua looked to Jackie Chan and was naturally strict with him, but Wang Ting was always a little rebellious in high school. Deeper and deeper. But now think about it, Wang Ting feels that his past behaviors are really childish and ridiculous. At the dinner table, Wang Ting and Wang Xinghua both seemed relatively silent. Li Xiumei was busy picking vegetables for Wang Ting and pulling the family with the father and son. Wang Ting enjoyed this atmosphere. Wang Xinghua talked with Wang Ting, mainly to inquire about the situation of study. Wang Ting responded in a regular manner. He didn't have a full-bodied atmosphere like before. Wang Xinghua was a little surprised and thought he was a little different today, but didn't think much. After eating, he hurried out again. As the helm of a large company, he has a lot of things in a day, and he only sleeps for 4 or 5 hours a day. Wang Tang and Li Shumei greeted each other, went out, and went straight to Jingxing Wuguan. A yellow sports car ran on the streets at night, and the roar was noticeable. Today's cars use the force as the energy source, and gasoline has been eliminated for a long time, which is more environmentally friendly and cheaper. The puppet pioneers not only brought back the cultivation methods from the Xingwu continent, but also brought back a variety of force civilization products. Rune Force Rune is one of them. The combination of the Earth's technology and the force civilization gave birth to the force technology. The car uses the force, and the computer and mobile phone also use the newly developed force rune chip and battery. They run faster and last longer. 25 hours later, Wang Ting drove to the front of Wuguan. According to the information he found, the polar star Wuguan is one of the 3 giants in the Huaxia regional Wuguan. Even in the global arena, they are also among the top 20. Official warrior, 1 to 9 stars are warrior level, 10 stars are quasi-combatant level, 11 stars are lower-level general, 12 are middle-level general, 13 are high-level general. The strength of the owner of Xingwu Pavilion is evident. Xingji Xingwu Museum is headquartered in Xiadu, but has branches in major cities in China. There are many military members and strong ones are like clouds. The East China Sea branch of the Jiji Xingwu Museum is located on the seashore, and it looks like a giant beast in the dark. It covers an area comparable to a university. The main entrance of the Wuwu Pavilion is enough for 5 or 6 cars to pass in parallel, which is very atmospheric. There is a huge stone in the middle of the main entrance. Above the huge stone, several bronzing characters of the dragon and phoenix dance are extremely striking. At the guard post, several security guards with guns approached the car. Routine inspection, please cooperate. Wang Ting lowered the window, nodded, and got out of the car. The security personnel inspected the interior of the sports car and scanned Wang Ting's whole body with a scanner. The inspection was very careful. At the same time, Wang Ting is also looking at these security personnel. They were wearing black protective vests, and the firearms in their hands were obviously large-caliber machine guns, which looked very sloppy. The gun body is engraved with the force rune, indicating that this is a force firearm, which is several times stronger than ordinary firearms. Even if a formal warrior is faced with a shot, it must be disabled. After inspection, defend and release. King Wang Ting parked his car and walked on the road in the Wuguan courtyard. Even if it's more than 8 o'clock, the martial arts hall is still bright as daylight. There are a large number of martial arts students on the road and on the lawn. Many people train at night. The martial arts training is against every second. Talent is only the most basic condition, and you need to work hard and sweat to achieve success. Inside the Wuwu Hall, there are 3 tall buildings. They are silvery white in overall, with distinctive features and very recognizable. The middle building is an administrative building, rectangular in shape, 100 meters high, inserted into the sky, but at the top is a weird semicircle. On the left is the martial arts teaching building, and on the right is the martial arts training building. These 2 buildings are like 2 huge spheres. They are not high, only 3 floors, but the interior is very wide, and at least twice as much as the playground in Donghai No. 1 Middle School. When the 3 buildings were put together, Wang Ting wondered whether it was to express the bad taste of the museum owner. Wang Ting had already known before he came, so he went straight to the administrative building. Under the guidance of the staff, register as a martial arts student, and then go to the martial arts teaching building on the left. The Wuwu Pavilion will only recruit students between the ages of 16 and 30 to avoid wasting resources. Wang Ting was only 17 years old and had no problems. When I entered the martial arts teaching building, the noise came from the hall. The first floor is where the junior students are trained. The junior students correspond to the junior martial arts. There are more than 3,000 junior martial arts at Jixing Wuguan. In the training hall on the first floor, the trainees practiced independently and seemed very lively. Wang Ting had just entered the hall, and was suddenly in place. What did he see? There are as many as 40 or 50 transparent bubbles floating in midair. Strength *1. Speed *3. Physique *1. Perception asterisk 0.5. Strength asterisk 4. Wang Ting blinked hard, those bubbles still existed, and the students in the training hall seemed invisible. Cheat finger. He was a little unsure and pulled a passing student. Why? The other party was only 16 or 17 years old, and looked at Wang Ting impatiently, with a displeased expression of, "You are actually handsomer than me. Brother, you floor, well paved." Wang Ting pointed to the ground. Yu reading books www.yuukangshu.com. Those transparent bubbles float at the height of the calf of a person and can be seen as soon as they lower their heads. But the student completely ignored it and said disgustedly. This is the best plastic floor, engraved with force rune, with shock absorption, long-lasting, anti-shock and so on. Where did you come from? Nothing. After I finished speaking, I waved my hand and left without looking back. Wang Ting touched his chin and saw the reaction of the other party. Obviously, he could not see it, so only he could see it. Those trainees walked around the training hall, and some of them passed directly through the air bubbles. For them, those air bubbles were like an illusion. Wang Ting stepped forward, got close to a bubble closest to himself, and tried to see if he could get through. As soon as I touched it, the bubble disappeared. A sudden flower bloomed in front of his eyes, and a transparent panel jumped out. Perception, 18. Physique, 5. Strength, 5, +1. Speed, 7. Staring at the transparent panel, Wang Ting's heart beats faster and faster, as if popping out of his throat. I'm so excited. Wang Ting feels that even if he won 100 million lottery tickets, he might not be so excited. But now he can't help it. This special meow is definitely cheat. In this era where the warrior is the mainstream, becoming stronger is the only way out. This golden finger can pick up attributes and then become its own attributes. This effect is too bad. Others have to work hard, and Wang Ting only needs to pick up attributes. He seems to see an unimpeded sky opening in front of him. One day, Wang Ting will soar to 90,000 miles. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 4, Killing but Not Practicing, 9th Broadcasting Gymnastics. King Wang came to the Xingwu Museum for training. I am now busy picking up attributes. He felt like a pickled man, diligently picking up what others had dropped. Before he observed it, the transparent bubbles on the ground were dropped by the trainees in the martial arts hall. There are many trainees training in the Wu Hall, so there are many attribute bubbles that drop. However, one thing made Wang Ting very sad. Bubbles are time-limited and disappear after a few minutes. He just hesitated for a while, several bubbles disappeared, but he felt bad, and felt that he had lost hundreds of millions. Trainees keep training, and sometimes drop several attribute bubbles. Sun Wang Ting picked up the joy, his attributes do not want money to go up. A tutor of a warrior saw him running around like a headless fly in the training hall, but he couldn't stand it and shouted at him. Well, that classmate, you don't train well at the Wu Guan, what are you running blindly? Teacher, I just came today to see how everyone trains. The ancient said that 3 people must have my teacher. I will learn from everyone first. Wang Ting looked at the martial arts instructor and laughed casually. Just here. Then you come, I will teach you, the 9th set of radio exercises in the country, and now you will know nothing, and look at it, learn the basics before you say. The instructor said. Wang Ting thinks about it, thinks that what he said makes sense, this mentor is still very responsible. Persistently glanced at the several attribute bubbles that had just fallen in the training hall, as if they had left them several 100 million away. Teacher, what kind of exercise is the 9th radio exercises in the country? Wang Ting walked over and asked curiously. The 9th National Broadcasting Gymnastics is a scientific exercise method developed by the country in combination with the basic forging method of the Xingwu continent. The mentor said, turning on the speaker. The 9th Broadcasting Gymnastics of the country martial youth, start now. Wang Ting's whole body meal. The music sounded, the familiar taste, and the familiar preparations. Look at it. The tall and strong mentor is at least 1.8 meters in height, and his muscles are horrible. At this time, his expression is serious and he is doing a preliminary action. Tutor has already started practicing radio exercises with music. First style, stretching, 1 2 3 4, 2 2 3 4. Second style, chest expansion exercise, 1 2 3 4, 2 2 3 4. Third style, kicking exercise, 1 2 3 4, 2 2 3 4. King Wangtang looked at each other blankly. Countless grass and mud horses in his mind were frantically rushing, could not stop them. God's special meow broadcast exercises. Although he also found that although the names are still those, the movements are much more complicated, and some difficult movements are very demanding on the body. It seems that, can really play a role in physical training. But this music, this rhythm, this familiar feeling is really ashamed. How's it, can you see it clearly? If you don't see it clearly, I will practice it again for you. The music stopped, and the instructor slowly took hold of his movements and took a long breath. He had a lot of sweat on his forehead. The 9th radio training gymnastics in China had amazing results. Teacher, I can see clearly. Wangting nodded quickly, for fear that he would really do it again. Looking at his insatiable appearance, he is likely to do it without joking. Oh, it looks like you have a good memory. I saw it 3 times before I wrote it down. The instructor said a little disappointed. Con, what's your disappointment look? Doing gymnastics is addictive to you. Wangting persuaded his mentor to send away the plague and let him harm other students, and they were very happy. What, the 9th set of radio exercises in China, Wangting will never practice, and I won't practice even if I am killed. This life can only be stronger by picking up attributes. While the mentor didn't notice, Wangting continued his great job of picking up attributes. Strength *2. Speed *1. Perception *0.2. Basic boxing method *5. Wangting was very happy. He picked up a lot of strength and speed attributes. He didn't try it and didn't know how much strength he reached. Far. Perception, the attributes are a little bit, and they are all a few tenths. Perception, has increased, hasn't it gotten smarter, doesn't it feel so much? Wangting thought so. And many more. Basic boxing method *5. A bubble different from before was absorbed by Wangting, and many memories of boxing practice suddenly appeared in his mind. Basic boxing, will I do this? Wangting was a little incredible. During the martial arts stage, they do not have the force and cannot cultivate the force combat skills. Then the country summarized many basic combat skills, including body skills, boxing skills, sword skills, and so on. Then spread it out so that all people can cultivate. Wangting looked at the young man in his 20s who was practicing basic boxing not far away. His eyes brightened. Although he has learned basic boxing skills, he obviously can't do it well, it's just a meeting, very rough, equivalent to the average person's practice for 4 or 5 days. However, picking up more, basic boxing, attributes should improve proficiency. Ha! The young man struck the sandbag vigorously, and the sandbag shook left and right, and each punch made the sandbag pitted. Strong. Sure enough, the warrior is the way out. Why can't you drop it? Dropped it again. Wangting was a little excited, secretly touched from the back, accidentally picked up the attributes, and then slipped away. Basic boxing method *7. Strength *5. This youth, there is material. Very material. Wangting sighed. His basic boxing skills are really more proficient. I waited for a while. Yu read the book www.yuyukesensu.com saw that the other side did not drop attributes anymore. Wangting had to turn to other students, after all, he couldn't take care of them. Only children make choices. Master, all of them. Wangting is an adult. Basic body method *2. The training hall is surrounded by a track, like a playground. A fat man ran across the track like a gust of wind blowing Wangting's hair. A bubble fell from behind the buttocks. I have confirmed my body shape, and I am a flexible fat man. Huh. Basic body skills. Wang Ting picked up the attributes. It was a shock, it was another basic combat skill, or the body style. This luck was a bit European. The fat man was running tirelessly, the back of the buttock seemed to be a hen laying eggs, and the air bubbles dropped. So much. Wang Ting was shocked again, following the principle of never wasting, running and picking up behind him. The speed attribute just added has played a role, supporting Wang Ting hanging behind the fat man and running with some joy. Speed *1. Speed *1. Speed *1. Basic body method *3. Speed *1. Haha, what are you doing behind me? The fat man stopped, stuck his tongue, and stared at Wang Ting. Who followed you? I'm practicing body style, don't be affectionate. Wang Ting also stared. You. Why are you? Fuck, I won't run, you run. Fat man was short of breath, but could not help Wang Ting. Don't, run 2 more times, I think you are very promising, don't give up easily. Wang Ting left. Fat man. Full attributes Martial Arts Chapter 5, I Wang Ting, very hardworking. At 11 o'clock, the night was deep. King Wang Ting left from the Star Wuguan, his face was still full of expression. One night of training, he was fooling all night. Confused? Hey, how can we say that the warrior's affairs are mixed up? Other martial arts practitioners also left one after another, and Wang Ting was the last group. It's not how hard he works, but to not miss any attribute bubbles, this is also an effort. King Wang Ting drove on an unmanned street. Perception, 19.3. Physique, 13. Strength, 135. Speed, 76. Combat skills, basic boxing, rough, basic body, rough. I glanced at the properties panel, contented. The change from the original single-digit to the double-digit and triple-digit attributes is undoubtedly huge. Strength and speed increase the most, while perception and physical fitness are relatively small. It is not difficult to see that there are some differences in the probability of various attributes falling. To his surprise, tonight he also got basic boxing and basic body skills. A warrior with a strong body is not enough. He must learn combat skills in order to exert his due strength. I will come to the Wuguan tomorrow and test it to see how far I can go. Wang Ting thought. I returned home, Li Shumei prepared for supper. Wang Xingguo was eating. Seeing Wang Ting coming back, he frowned and asked, Where have you been so late? Go to Xingwu Museum, Wang Ting replied casually. Then rushed to Li Shumei and said, Mom, you cooked egg noodles. Have you left me some? I'm hungry. Yes. It's for you. Li Shumei is very happy that his son likes what he cooks. King Wang Ting took the bowl and sat next to Wang Xingguo. Wang Xingguo didn't smell the wine on Wang Ting, his eyebrows were slightly loose, and he asked in amazement, What are you going to the Wuguan? I'm going to practice martial arts. Wang Ting said without looking up. Training. Training. Wang Xingguo and Li Shumei were startled. The two couldn't help looking at each other, then looked at Wang Ting together. They had persuaded Wang Ting before, but Wang Ting was used to raising him from a young age, and he did not learn anything, so he didn't rest assured. Now he actually wants to learn martial arts. Son, do you want to practice martial arts? Li Shumei asked in disbelief. Yes. Wang Ting nodded. Son, are you in love? Li Shumei suspected. Wang Ting froze. When did I fall in love? I do not know how. Don't you not love martial arts before? Wang Xingguo asked. What's the big deal? Now that I figure it out, I'll practice it naturally. Wang Ting said with a casual look. It's that simple. Wang Xingguo and Li Shumei looked at each other again. Okay, since you want to practice martial arts, then I will ask you a good teacher to teach you. Wang Xingguo saw Wang Ting as if he was not playing, and patted his palm with pleasure. Dad, don't ask the teacher first, martial arts requires talent, I want to practice it myself. King Wang Ting immediately refused. What teacher is comparable to his cheat? His dad invited a senior warrior to be his teacher at most. With his net worth, the warrior must not be able to afford it. It is better to spend more time picking up attributes to learn from a senior martial artist. I asked the teacher to waste money. In today's warrior era, even the cost of a high-level warrior is not low. Wang Xinghua didn't force it, nodded his head and said, yes, there is also a mentor in the martial arts museum. As one of the 3 giants in the Huaxia Martial Arts Museum, their star mentor is not bad. You study hard, I don't want you to be a warrior. As long as you can train to a high-level warrior, your physical fitness will be greatly improved, and your lifespan will be increased a lot. The body is the capital, there is a good body, and you can do more with less. In fact, he was also afraid of Wang Ting's heat for 3 minutes, and he could not endure hardship or practice in 2 days. I'd better let Wang Ting practice for a while first, and he can really persist, and it's not too late to make a plan. I see, Dad. Wang Ting laughed inwardly. His dad just liked to preach. Before that, he couldn't listen at all. Can't stand it. Senior martial arts. I have golden fingers, let alone a formal warrior, even a warrior-level warrior is not impossible. I was just afraid to say it to scare him. Wang Xinghua's old Huaixin is comforted, I feel that Wang Ting has matured a lot. Is he really in love? Son, you are also 17 years old. If you really fall in love, we don't object. Is your pocket money enough? Wang Ting is a little lost. We can't get around this hurdle, right? Parents, I really didn't fall in love. If they do, I will definitely bring them back to you as soon as possible. He said helplessly. It's a pity. Li Xiumei was a little disappointed. Wang Xinghua nodded in agreement. Wang Ting said silently, Mom, I was just 17 years old, where did you go? It's not long ago. Now I can get a marriage certificate at the age of 18, and now I can talk and cultivate my feelings. It will be just a year after marriage. You can get married at 18. Wang Ting was shocked. In the martial arts era, was it so happy? Mom, I'm done. Let's go upstairs to take a shower and sleep. He fled and ran upstairs, and told his mother for a while, I'm afraid even his son would come out. He's such a person. This child. Husband, I think the Tang family is a good girl. Would you like to visit his house someday? Downstairs, Yu reading www.yuyukeangshu.com. Li Xiumei is still talking to Wang Xinghua. Fortunately, Wang Ting didn't hear, otherwise I was afraid to scare the urine. The girl of the Tang family had at least 200 caddies, my mother. The next day. Early in the morning, Wang Xinghua was eating breakfast, buns, fried dough sticks, soy milk. Although simple, it was the favorite of Chinese people. King Wang Ting came down from upstairs. Because it is Saturday, there is no need to attend class, and the time can be freely arranged. After eating breakfast, Wang Ting greeted his parents and hurried out. Wang Xinghua was again pleased, and rushed to Li Xiumei, let the servant buy some star beast meat today, shouting practice martial arts, eating star beast meat will help improve physical fitness. King Xingwu Museum. Wang came very early. There were only 3 or 2 students in the training hall. These people were very hard-working. They were surprised to see Wang Ting's face. However, Wang Ting's diligence was recognized by them. Several students nodded kindly, thinking that Wang Ting should be the same person as them. Wang Ting also felt that he was very diligent, but there were few people and few bubbles. He stepped forward to say hello to several students one by one, and picked up the attributes by the way. Yeah, just by the way. Wang Ting, I'm a polite person. Greeting is the real purpose. Basic boxing method *6. Strength *8. Speed *6. Basic sword technique *4. Wow, it's rich in attributes, basic boxing, basic swordsmanship, and a basic combat skill. The birds that got up early really eat bugs. The students in the Wu Museum are all talents, they speak nicely, and return a lot of attributes. They really like them. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 6, I'm Not Fighting 5 Scum. After Wang Ting picked up a few attribute bubbles, and saw whether the students would fall again at 1:30, he ran to the corner. Several test machines are placed there. Dynamometer, speedometer, fitness tester, etc. These are all machines for examining the physical fitness of martial arts, with relatively small standards and relatively small errors. Wang Ting came to the dynamometer first. He has learned basic boxing skills, which is equivalent to mastering the most basic force-generating skills. It takes at least a month for others, even if it takes genius, it takes about 10 days, but Wang Ting only spends one night. Distance is just a few attribute bubbles. There is no closer distance in the world than this, others are afraid to think. Wang Ting stood slowly, took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and the whole person relaxed. He suddenly opened his eyes fixed, as if a wild beast was hunting, suddenly violently, his legs firmly grasped the ground, his waistline moved slightly, his back spine tightened like a bowstring, and he punched out. Wang Ting's fist slammed directly on the dynamometer. The numbers on the dynamometer screen jumped wildly, and finally fixed on a value, 143 kg. When he came home last night, his strength attribute was 135, and he just got 8 points again, which is 143 in total, which corresponds to 143 kilograms. This power is approaching the limits of ordinary people. Attention, it is the ultimate power. A person who is driven to despair may be able to exert his strength beyond the physical limit, but ordinary people, it is difficult. Very difficult. Now think about it, at first his strength attribute was only 5, isn't that the battle of 5 scum? Impossible, I am definitely not fighting the 5 dregs. Wang Ting shook his head in consolation, then opened the speedometer and stood up. The speedometer is like a treadmill. As the tester runs, the lower wheel belt rotates to measure the speed. Wang Ting started to run slowly, then accelerated slowly until it reached the peak. The speedometer will show the tester's fastest speed. After Wang Ting felt that he had reached the fastest speed, he stopped slowly and stepped down the speedometer. He looked at the value displayed on the speedometer, 12.7 m/s. Obviously, speed and attributes are not paired. As for how to convert the two, Wang Ting doesn't seem to care. It's nothing more than a different value. Wang Ting was a bit surprised at the speed just tested. Has this already caught up with the previous world 100-meter champion? The body of the warrior is so horrible, not to mention the warrior. Look at your physique again. The physique detector is like a dorm cabin in a science fiction movie, standing upright in the corner. Wang Ting walked in and pressed the start test button. A beam of light scanned his body several times from head to toe. Physical test includes comprehensive elements such as blood, muscle, bone, meridian, etc. It is very complicated and can only be done by high technology. Ding, the scan is over, student Wang Ting, physique 13. A beautiful woman's voice came out of the physique detector. Also with voice broadcast function. Wang Ting felt that while the physique tester is more expensive than dynamometers and speedometers, he couldn't help groaning. Physique 13, it corresponds to physical attributes, it seems that only the speed is different. Looked at the list of warrior classes, posted on the side wall. The standard for low-level martial arts is the strength of 100 kilograms to 300 kilograms, the speed of 100 meters for 9 seconds to 7 seconds, which is 11.11 m/s to 14.28 m/s, and the constitution is 10 to 30. Obviously, Wang Ting is already a low-level warrior. He is quite satisfied with this result. Do you want to go to heaven if you are not satisfied? After all, he changed from a war 5 dregs to a low-level warrior. He doesn't know how much time he has saved. To be content. To fight for intermediate martial arts today. Wang Tingxing was so full that he decided not to go anywhere, soaking in the training hall all day. The trainees were training separately, and they didn't pay attention to Wang Ting's test results. After all, they only met for the first time today, and they had no friendship, and it was rude to spy on the strength of others. As soon as Wang Ting tested, several attribute bubbles dropped from the feet of several students. As soon as Wang Ting's eyes brightened, he walked past them and picked them up quietly. Basic Sword Technique *3. Strength *5. Perception *0.6. Speed *2. Yes, there is still understanding, and the basic swordsmanship is also proficient. Wang Ting secretly rejoiced. At this time, there were too few people, and Wang Ting didn't want to be too maverick. It was noticeable that he went into the weapon room and glanced away. There are many weapons, swords, knives, guns, halberds, sticks, hammers, and so on the weapon cabinet. There are many small classifications for the same large class of weapons, such as swords, long swords, short swords, soft swords, and two-handed swords. We can say that there are many types of weapons here. Even if the weapon learned by the trainees goes further, they can find the weapon they need in this weapon room. King Wang Ting stood in front of the cabinet where the sword was placed, and took off a black iron sword of the Shadow series. Martial arts flourishes, and the weapon industry naturally develops with it. After all, weapons are too important for warriors. A warrior with a sharp weapon, who has no advantage when playing against a warrior without a weapon. However, the weapons supplied to the martial arts are all simulated weapons, of average material, and without runes attached. The black iron sword of the Shadow series is completely black. The standard and weight are the same as the original, but there is no mysterious rune on its sword. I really want to make a comparison. The cost of this sword is only a few $100s, while the authentic one requires hundreds of thousands, which is almost 10,000 miles. King Wang Ting turned the black iron sword in the hands, and the weight was just right. Yu Kanshu www.yuyukanshu.com. Boys have a preference and longing for various weapons. Many people have even dreamed of the rivers and lakes of swords and swords. The past life was a science and technology society, and there was no martial art, and Wang Ting had no chance to contact them. Now he looked at the long sword in his hand, and he was somewhat happy. Before, he obtained the basic swordplay attribute. He had some understanding of the basic swordplay. Before anyone else had come to train, and there were no bubbles to pick up, he just went out to practice and see the power of this basic swordplay. He walked out of the weapon room, found an empty place, and practiced the sword in accordance with the memory of the sword in his mind. Long sword waved, making a slight cracking sound. If it is cut on a person, it will hurt or die. Among the students, the young man who provided Wang Ting with the basic swordsmanship practiced his sword. When he saw Wang Ting coming out with a long sword, he was suddenly surprised. So he slowly closed down and watched Wang Ting's drill from a distance. It turned out to be just a beginner. However, after looking at it twice, he shook his head and stopped paying attention. How is it not that hard? It's a lot more proficient after doing it twice. My perception is only 19.3, and it is not very high. Wang Ting stopped, wondering. He doesn't know his 19.3 perception, which has exceeded many ordinary people. Of course, it is not too difficult to cultivate the basics. If it was to learn the force combat skills, it would not be so easy. The Kakihara force combat technique involves the use of the force, which is relatively esoteric and complicated, and lacks understanding, making cultivation very difficult. From this we can see that the cultivation of martial arts really values talent, and those who can become martial arts must be geniuses. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 7, Alas, Wool. I practiced the sword for a while, and Wang Ting put it back in the weapon room. After kicking out, switched to boxing. When the student who practiced swords saw him, he shook his head again. I would like Wang Ting to practice swordsmanship twice and go to practice boxing. It is better to practice only one, otherwise in the end, it is certain that both are not good. This newcomer, hardworking is hardworking, just stupid. Wang Ting didn't know he had been labeled stupid. He practiced boxing twice, and felt that he had mastered the basic boxing skills a little bit. Well, the effect is good. He turned around and saw a tall figure standing with his arms around him. Looks like it's been a while. Teacher, when did you come here and you didn't talk? It scared me. This figure is the same martial arts instructor who taught Wang Ting the 9th set of radio exercises in the country, last night. Now he sees that Wang Teng is still scalp. Juvenile, I see that you have practiced for a while, your punches are good. The instructor gave Wang Teng a thumbs up. Thank you. Wang Teng was ashamed, and said, Teacher, my name is Wang Teng. I don't know what your name is yet. My name is Peng Hai, you don't have to call my teacher, just call Brother Peng. Peng Hai said. Brother Peng. Wang Teng was so kind, and then asked, Did you come so early? I'm not talented enough. I'm in my 20s, and I'm still a high-level martial artist, so I can only rely on hard work. Peng Hai said rudely. King Wang Teng suddenly didn't know what to say. Haha, don't care, I just grumble casually, Wang Teng, you have a good talent and you are willing to work hard, I believe that in less than 3 years, you will definitely become a warrior, come on. Peng Hai encouraged. For 3 years. No, about 3 days is enough. Wang Teng thought so, but he only nodded and said, I will work hard, Brother Peng. Well, I will go to the 3rd floor for training. Today, there will be other senior warriors to guide you. Of course, you can always ask me if you have any questions. Peng Hai said. What a passionate brother. King Wang Teng watched him go up to the 3rd floor, and couldn't help feeling. It didn't take long for students to arrive one after another, and the training hall became lively. Brother. Brother is early. Sister, today is still so beautiful. People who are familiar with each other say hello to each other, and then they start to cultivate each other. Everyone's time is precious. Wang Teng looked at them, and suddenly felt that these practitioners were like a sheep with 2 legs walking upright. They had a lot of fur on their bodies, and they couldn't finish their hair. Good. The corner of his mouth could not help showing a hint of old father-like smile. Wait for fat, then you can slaughter. Such a good sheep is not used for slaughter, it must be slaughtered all the time. As everyone started training in full swing, various attribute bubbles fell down. The training hall soon became a sea of bubbles. Wang Teng happy in it. I'm a wool party, yeah wool. He didn't dare to sing this song for fear of being killed, but he sang silently while making a lot of money. If there is a sound at this time, it must be like this. Drop, strength *2, speed *6, in front, and you pick it up, your strength and speed will increase. Drop, basic boxing *2, in front, you pick it up and your basic boxing is more proficient. Drop, awareness *1, physique *3, in front of you. You pick it up, and your understanding and constitution have improved. More people train on Saturday than last night. Wang Teng completely underestimated the number of attributes that everyone dropped, or in other words, he underestimated how hard everyone worked. The harder the trainees train, the higher the probability of falling attributes. It's like milking. The harder you work, the more you squeeze. After a whole day passed, he actually completed the transformation from a low-level knight to an intermediate knight. Whether it is strength, speed, or physique, it has broken through the threshold standard of intermediate martial arts, without any moisture. Not only that, his basic boxing skills, basic body skills, basic swordsmanship have all reached Xiaocheng. Combat skills can be divided into rough, proficient, small, big, and micro. Proficient, he has been able to show the power of combat skills. Xiaocheng has an advantage, the power is at least twice as strong. And if it reaches Deshang, even in the slightest, the power will be more than several times stronger. In addition, Wang Teng also obtained the basic knife method, and pushed it to proficiency. The harvest is not small. It's dinner time in the evening. The trainees had been hungry for a day of training, so they packed up and left the training hall one after another. At this moment, Wang Teng is checking the acceptance in the corner. He was holding a black iron sword, matching his body style, moving around, waving his sword, and making a sound of air tearing. The young man who practiced his sword in the morning was returning the sword and came out of the weapon room. I happened to pass by Wang Teng and inadvertently took a look. This. The whole man was shocked. The boss with his mouth open rubbed his eyes as if he suspected that he had hallucinations. This is definitely not the basic skill of proficiency, Xiaocheng, it must be Xiaocheng. He is proficient himself. Although he has not reached Xiaocheng, he still has vision. How is this possible? In the morning, he watched Wang Ting training, and he was just a beginner. The sword skills were very rough. One day passed, and it turned out that Xiaocheng was reached. This must be a joke, right? Are there really such geniuses in the world? He felt that he had to doubt his life, and laughed at his stupidity in the morning. Yu reading www.yuyukeungshu.com thinks at this moment, it seems a little ridiculous. Crazy. Crazy. The young man looked down, shook his head with a bitter smile, and walked out of the training hall. King Wang Ting didn't find such a person at all. He practiced his sword, boxing and body skills all over, and he felt a sense of patency in his whole body. Who? He slowly exhaled a stale gas and put the weapon back into the weapon room. As you walked towards the Wukong underground parking lot, you called up the property panel. Perception, 28. Physique, 42. Strength, 455. Speed, 185. Combat skills, basic boxing, Xiaocheng, basic body, Xiaocheng, basic sword, Xiaocheng, basic sword, proficient. It's full today. Wang Ting drove home with a smile on his face. At home, Li Xiumei was cooking, and the rich meat aroma floated out of the kitchen, and Wang Ting's stomach screamed immediately. "Mom, what did you cook today? It's so fragrant," he asked as he walked into the kitchen. "Your dad specifically told me to buy you the star beast meat." Li Xiumei laughed. "Really? My dad is so costly." Wang Ting was surprised. The star beast is the beast affected by the original force, which has produced a mutation. Because the original force was born in the cosmic starry sky, it got its name. Their meat is very nutritious, not comparable to ordinary animals, and the price is very expensive. "It's fragrant, let me taste it." He saw a plate of braised pork on the stove, saliva secreted, could not help but pick up a piece and threw it into his mouth. "Oh, it's so delicious, Mom, your cooking is so good." "Oh, you are so hungry, and you are so sweaty, you have to take a shower." Li Xiumei kicked him out of the kitchen. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 8, Rose Bar. At about 6 o'clock, Wang Xinghua returned home. Li Xiumei asked her servant Aunt Chen to call Wang Ting down for dinner. Wang Ting had just taken a shower, changed his clothes, and was blowing his hair with a hair dryer. "I see, Aunt Chen, I'll be right down," he responded casually. "After becoming a warrior, I even improved my hearing, and the noise of the hair dryer did not affect him at all. Within a minute, he blows his hair, unplugs, and goes down to eat." Wang Xinghua and Li Xiumei were waiting for him. There are several bowls of dishes on the table, steaming and fragrant. My family sat around to eat together. "Son, how are you doing today?" Li Xiumei asked Wang Xinghua what he wanted to ask most, and he looked at Wang Ting eagerly. Speaking of which, Wang Xinghua is not easy to be a father. Usually, his friends show him how good his sons and daughters are, and whose children have become intermediate martial arts and senior martial arts. Only Wang Xinghua couldn't tell the truth. He wanted a boss of a large company with billions of assets, but his son didn't learn anything. I will definitely be joked when I say it. Now that his son is finally waking up, he is willing to practice martial arts. When he really becomes a senior martial artist, he can go out and talk. "It's okay," Wu Guan's brother said that I still have talent. Wang Ting said. He didn't tell his parents that he was an intermediate martial artist. When happiness came too suddenly, he was afraid that they would faint. "I will tell them slowly later. It's good to be talented, just to be talented." Wang Xinghua's happy eyes narrowed and he waved with a big hand, "You practice well. Although our Wang family is not a wealthy giant, at least it is much better than ordinary people. Don't worry about the martial arts resources." Wang Ting nodded and said nothing. He is not very worried about resources. Others may need various martial arts resources, but he is not very dependent. Cheat finger, others' resources are his resources. "Come, eat more and practice for a day, it must be hungry and tired." Compared with Wang Ting's ability to become a warrior, Li Shumei cares more about whether he suffers and suffers. Seeing Wang Ting gobble up, he feels some distress. Wang Ting couldn't care about talking, and had to say that the star beast meat was really delicious, fat but not greasy, and melted at the entrance. I ate into my belly, as if there was a warm current flowing in the limbs, soothing fatigue. Li Shumei and Wang Xinghua also ate a little, but did not dare to eat more. After all, they didn't practice martial arts. Ordinary people in the martial arts era, although affected by the force, have a much higher physical fitness, but that is a long-term subtle influence. After dinner, Wang Ting is preparing to go to Ji Xing Wu Guan, and the cell phone rings. I picked it up, and Su Jie's voice came out. Wang Ting brother, we are already at the Rose Bar, come here quickly. Wang Ting finally remembered this thing that he had forgotten to the outside of the clouds, and could not help but smile, saying, yes, wait, I will come later. It looks like you can't go to Ji Xing Wu Guan tonight. Wang Ting had some regrets, but he also knew that after all, it was impossible to soak in the martial arts every day. Just relax. Wang Ting greeted his parents and went out. Boom boom boom. Sports cars roar on the street, whether it is the streamlined body, or this huge roar, are the focus of passers-by's eyes. Junan City Bar Street. There are many bar streets in Donghai, Nanchang is the most prosperous one. A large number of bars gather here, different types, different styles, and even different price points. Popular bars are suitable for low-end consumers, while high-end bars are suitable for the elites of society, or children of wealthy families. Although I do not want to say so, people are virtually divided into different classes. Every night, a bar street lights red and green, bright neon lights, gorgeous light and shadow intertwined, gathered into a dreamlike fantasy. Young urban men and women work with heavy loads during the day and are stressed, and hope to find a place to relax at night. Social pressure has never disappeared. In the martial arts era, the pressure was even heavier. They need to vent. Of course, for Wang Ting, this is nothing but a place to have fun. Outside the Qiangwei bar, there was a slippery sports car parked. Wang Ting searched for a long time, finally found an empty parking space to park the car, and then walked into the bar. Boom! Open a door to isolate the inside and outside of the bar into two worlds. The moment the door was opened, the music was loud, the sound of jokes of handsome men and beautiful women, bright and dark flashing lights gathered together, impacting Wang Ting's eardrums and eyes. Really familiar. In the past life, after the defeat of the Wang family disappeared, Wang Ting never visited the bar again. He seemed to be kicked out of this noisy world. But now he is back. Wang Ting strode into the Rose Bar. His handsome face and brand-name clothing, coupled with his strong and upright body and refreshed mental appearance after 2 days of becoming a warrior, made him look like a diamond in the sand. Many women's eyes are attracted by him, seeming a little interested. King Wang Ting was once an old bacon, but now it is real small fresh meat, with a touch of immature appearance, but the temperament is very different. He had experienced too many things in previous life, and it was ups and downs. I have enjoyed riches and have felt poverty. I used to be spirited, my youth was aspiring, and I was sinking in desolate. Sudden and rich experiences often give birth to maturity and vicissitudes. Such people have a fatal attraction to some women. Even if moths catch fire, they are willing. Wang Ting glanced in the bar, looking for Su Jie and others. A voice came from the left. Wang Tinga, here, here. Wang Ting saw the girl who was beckoning to herself, by way, a little sister in their circle. With a bald head in her arms, she looked playful and charming. Wang Ting still remembers that when she was an adult, the little girl looked like a curse to the country and the people. I don't know how many men were fascinated by her. You came early enough. She by way gave way to Wang Ting, and Wang Ting sat down beside her. Wang Ting brother, you are late. Su Jie complained. Long night, this is just the beginning, why do you come so early? Wang Ting laughed. Wang Tinga. Another boy also greeted Wang Ting. You how, I haven't seen you for a long time. Wang Ting looked at each other. I was recently held tight by my dad, and I sneaked out today. Yu Hao said helplessly. This kid was held by his dad to practice martial arts. Su Jia laughed gleefully. Oh. How's it going? Wang Tingyun wondered. I am already a low-level martial artist. Yu Hao touched his head and said embarrassedly. I rely, you kid, you become a low-level warrior without a word. Su Jia exclaimed, apparently he didn't know the news yet. You became a warrior within us, and you will be bullied in the future, but they will find you. Then he put on Yu Hao's shoulders, he laughed. Little mouse, I'll rely on you later. Bai Wei echoed with a smile. Wu Yu Hao was a little proud of them, especially Bai Wei's approval must have made him very useful. A few people walked recently, and there is inevitably some hazy feelings between men and women. Shi Yu Hao is just like Bai Wei. Wang Ting smiled and asked, why didn't you see Yuan Zhenghua? There was a moment of silence for several people. He won't come. Su Jia sneered. Huh? What's going on? Wang Ting asked frowning. That guy climbed up to Li Rongqing of the Li family and became a dog leg of others. Su Jia said with a lip. Li Rongqing. Wang Ting thought about it, and finally remembered such a person from the deep memory. Wang Ting's family is almost the same, their fathers also knew each other, and they had business contacts, so they naturally became a small circle. The Li family where Li Rongqing is located can rank among the top 5 in the East China Sea, much stronger than theirs. Yuan Zhenghua and Li Rongqing approached each other. In Su Jia's opinion, they just climbed the other's thigh. These are the rich second-generation circles. They have similar strengths and can be called friends. The difference is too much, it becomes climbing. Stop talking about him, people have their own ambitions, nothing to say. Wang Ting said indifferently. Yes, don't talk about that kid, I'll get angry whenever he mentions him. Su Jia said. A few people switched the topic, ordered wine and fruit plates, and joked. Wang Ting gradually found the feeling of being young. Wang Ting brother, what's wrong with you? Bai Wei keenly felt his mood changes. Nothing, I remember something. Wang Ting smiled and said. You seem to be a little different. Yu reading www.yuukangshu.com, Bai Wei stared at him seriously. Not the same. What's the difference? Wang Ting jumped in his heart, but on the surface he acted as if nothing had happened. I don't know, it seems a bit strange. Wang Tinga, will you also draw a line with us? Bai Wei said sadly. What nonsense. Wang Ting couldn't help crying and knocked on her head. Really, don't knock on my head, it will be silly. Bai Wei pouted. However, Wang Ting's intimate move made her regain her familiarity, and a smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. Su Shujie was watching the beauties dancing, then suddenly said. Drink first, I saw a younger sister and made me feel emotional. Every time you see a beautiful young lady, you feel emotional. Bai Wei rolled her eyes. You don't understand, my heart proved that I was young. Su Jietian smiled shamelessly, stood up and walked towards the dance floor. Shi Yuhao looked at his back enviously, but considering that Bai Wei was still around, he did not dare to indulge. Want to go? Bai Wei said with a smile. Wu Yuhao quickly shook his head like a rattle. Well, right, man, Bai Wei despised. Suddenly Yuhao suddenly hesitated. Ha ha ha, Xiao Wei, don't laugh at him. Wang Ting couldn't help laughing. Wang Ting, why are you so honest tonight? Bai Wei suddenly pointed her finger at Wang Ting. Do I have to attack automatically? Wang Ting dismissed. She's so cheeky. Bai Wei abandoned. I'm confident. Look, isn't that here? Wang Ting jabbed and smiled. Not far away, a tall woman was walking towards him on high heels. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 9, my friend, get your lesson by turn. I talked and laughed, time passed quickly. The music in the bar is exciting and the atmosphere is hot, and everyone is gradually playing. At this time, Su Jia and Bai Wei are playing a game of truth and adventure. 3 people, decide with the palm of your hand. The game has been going on for several rounds, winning and losing each other, and saying some interesting but harmless truth. If you do want to say it, choose a big adventure. The most interesting time, Yu Hao asked Bai Wei to go to sister. As a result, no one expected that Bai Wei had succeeded. The unfortunately selected beauty was blushed and red-faced by her face, causing everyone to laugh. But this time, it was Yu Hao's turn. Su Shujia and Bai Wei laughed happily. Su then made a brilliant idea and asked Yu Hao to name his first spring dream. This problem made Yu Hao's face as red as a pig's liver. Wang Ting smiled and shook his head. He did not participate. After all, he had too many secrets, and it was easy to play this game. Su Jia and Bai Wei both hurriedly, and Yu Hao hurriedly said. Wang Tang stood up and went to the toilet. Eating xingbei meat at night helps metabolism and excrete impurities in the body. And the smell of cigarettes in the bar made him addicted. In previous lives, he didn't know when to start, he felt uncomfortable without smoking a day, and wanted to quit and couldn't quit. After a while, he came out of the toilet and went outside to buy a pack of inferior cigarettes. I'm not used to pumping well. Wang Teng, holding a cigarette in his mouth, walked toward Su Jia. When Sun came near, they found that they were surrounded by several people. Su Jia and Yu Hao seemed to be arguing with the group. The group of people were angry, wearing earrings, tattooed on their bodies, and they looked like lousy is not easy to mess with. Wang Ting frowned. At this time, one of them pushed Su Jia for a moment, and scolded and said, "Ma, this little girl has stained my clothes." "I'm sorry, did you think? Do you know how much this dress is? Can you afford it?" A few little farts also learned to come to the bar to play. He said a few people laughed, and a mocking expression appeared on his face. Where did Yu Hao suffer from such anger? These wealthy second generations have been spoiled and used to be flattered by others. I am a bit aggrieved if I am in a higher status than them, but these are obviously the youngest who come out of which corner I do not know. If I was really bullied by such a person, I was afraid that it would become a joke in other rich second-generation circles. Su Jia was pushed a little, his face sank even more. But don't look at his usual carelessness, God is the first and I look like second, but he is actually no brainless person. At this time, the other party is obviously crowded, and there are girls among them. There was a conflict, and it certainly wouldn't work out. Besides, in today's martial arts era, some people seem to be shameless. What if they are masters? That must not die. So he took a deep breath and said calmly, "Several people, even if we stain your clothes, we are not the right one, and we will lose money. You are so aggressive, do you really want to make it out of control? Everyone here is very clear. Even if we ask the police to mediate, we are the reasoning side. Grass, still want to find the police, threaten me, right?" The stained clothes was a young man in his 20s, with a hawk-nosed nose, a shady face, and a hob flesh. He believed that Su Jia was threatening him, and he yelled. "Su Jia, what nonsense with him, this is obviously nothing to find." Not Bai Wei touched him at all, but he deliberately came over when Bai Wei got up and let Bai Wei run into it. Yu Hao said angrily. "Boy, if there is no evidence, don't talk nonsense." The young man sneered. "Is that so? You know in your own heart." Yu Hao stood up and pointed at him. With a look of impatience, the young man sighed coldly, "Shit special nonsense, let this little girl accompany us for a few glasses of wine, this matter is fine, otherwise, hee. What do you say? Say it again, believe it or not I kill you." Yu Hao immediately exploded. These people want Bai Wei to accompany the wine. This is really irritating him. Su Jia suddenly said, "Broken." The other party apparently gave them a set, and Yu Hao's explosion made things irreconcilable. "Yu Hao, don't say it." Bai Wei had just been pulling Yu Hao, and he broke free without notice. At this moment she obviously felt a tense atmosphere. "Little beasts, you want to kill me, I'll kill you today." The youth laughed for a while, stepping forward, his hands like eagle claws, grabbing at Yu Hao's neck. "It's really fierce. It's fierce. Warrior!" Someone exclaimed. Tong Yu Hao's face also changed abruptly. One was that he did not expect the other to do it, and the second was that he was a warrior. In a hurry, he didn't have the courage to confront him at all, and could only avoid it. Fortunately, Yu Hao was recently arrested by his dad to practice martial arts. He is now a low-level martial artist, otherwise he would be replaced by an ordinary person. Don't say hide this time, I'm afraid I will be scared by the opponent's fierce momentum on the spot. The bar was immediately messed up. Su Shujia quickly pulled Bai Wei away, and they were not martial arts practitioners. At this time, they could not help at all. Seeing that Yu Hao was able to avoid it, the young man at Yin was a little surprised, but he didn't care. The body twisted, and a sweeping leg swept towards Yu Hao. Yu Hao grabbed the chair next to him and blocked the attack. Ha! The iron chair was kicked directly by the young man. Yu Hao also flew out and fell to the ground under the influence of strong force. The table was smashed and the chairs were smashed. The wine bottle shattered to the ground, and the whole bar jumped instantly. Men and women screamed and hid in the distance. But many people did not leave, but instead looked lively in the distance. Cough. Yu Hao covered his chest with a dry cough, feeling that his ribs were broken. He knows that this time he encountered a stumble. He first entered the martial arts, but from the strength of the opponent, although it is also within the scope of low-level martial arts, but almost close to intermediate. The Yin young man folded his legs and walked towards Yu Hao slowly. Boy, aren't you very arrogant just now? You want to kill me, you are not strong enough. The Yin young man pushed Yu Hao to the corner step by step, overlooking him condescendingly, mocking the road. Dare you touch me, my dad will not let you go. Yu Hao gritted his teeth and said pale. Children, find your father if you can't win, and wean before. The young man with a Yin smiled. Yu Hao's face turned red. Su Shujia naturally couldn't watch his friend being humiliated, and stood up and said, today we counted it. If you say the number, we will compensate. The Yin young man shook his forefinger and made a gurgling sound in his mouth. My face is full of disdain. Little boy, today I teach you to be a good boy, don't make a mess if you don't have the ability. The young man with the right foot lifted his right foot and kicked Yu Hao's head severely. Some people can't bear to close their eyes. Su Jia and Bai Wei's faces suddenly changed. With this kick, Yu Hao must be seriously injured. And still kicked in the head, in case there is a good, this life is over. They really didn't expect that this Yin young man would be so cruel. Ha! A heavy impact sounded. However, Yu Hao was still in place, without any injuries, but the young man who flew away flew out and hit the wall heavily. He fell to the ground, and a blood spurted out. Both Su Jia and Bai Wei, and everyone else in the bar, were stunned by the sudden scene. Everyone looked at Wang Ting standing in front of Yu Hao. He stuck his hand in his pocket, with a cigarette in his mouth, and said lightly, my friend, when is your turn to learn? King, brother Wang Ting. Cried Yu Hao stuttered. Su Shujia and Bai Wei also stared at Wang Ting as if they had known him for the first time. Can't get up, is the ground cool? Wang Ting cursed with a smile. Wang Ting brother, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. Bai Wei ran over with a glint of imperceptible gleam in her eyes. Brother, you will be my pro-brother from now on, you can hide us from suffering. Su Jia shouted excitedly. Okay, what's the ghost name, when will I hide from you? Wang Ting said helplessly. Dash, you dare hit me, give me, kill this little beast. The Yin young youth got up from the ground, and Yu read the book www.yuyukangshu.com wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, his eyes were filled with resentment, and those few humanities who rushed at him together. Big brother, this kid is too good, we are not opponents. One person looked at Wang Ting in fear. Neither of them saw how Wang Ting moved his hands, and the vulgar youths who were close to the strength of intermediate martial arts flew out. What can these people who are not martial arts do? Waste. The Yin young youth kicked the other in a hate and rushed to Wang Ting and said, boy, there is a kind of name on paper, wait for me to call someone. Wang Ting said with a tick. My name is Li Rongchen, I'll give you half an hour, it's out of date. Okay, you wait for me. The young man left the rose bar dimly. As soon as I left, Bai Wei couldn't help laughing. Wang Ting brother, you are too bad, actually let Li Rongqing be the scapegoat, if he knows, he will hate you. King Wang Ting shrugged. Go home. Aren't we waiting for them to come back? Yu Hao asked unwillingly. Wang Ting slapped his head in a slap, exercise martial arts, silly, you, who knows how many people they will come to, what if there are senior martial arts? Even warriors, we are still stupid to stay here, isn't it? Waiting for death. That is, you kid, you are so impulsive. If you weren't Wang Tinga, you would have suffered a lot. Su Jie couldn't help but teach. Let's go, they'll go to Li Rongqing if they're looking for it, I'm not Li Rongqing. A few of Wang Ting walked out of the bar and drove out of the car. They didn't get into the night. The group wanted to find him. As for finding him, is it good luck or bad luck? That's hard to say. Full Attributes Martial Arts Chapter 10, Gaze of Love from Old Father. As soon as Wang Ting walked away, the staff looked at a messy bar and asked a man in his early 30s a suit. Manager, just let them go. The man in the suit glared at the staff member and said, what else would you do? You leave them. No sightseeing. Zhao Gangbao is a low-level warrior, and his brother is a high-level warrior. As for those rich second generations, which of the family is not worth hundreds of millions of assets, the most important thing is that they also have two warriors, the one who was knocked out will not say, and the one who just shot is at least an intermediate warrior. Do you know what it means to be such a young intermediate warrior? It means that he will also be a high-level warrior at the lowest level in the future, and you should take it. Don't pull me if you want to die. The staff member was said to be speechless, and the 5 bodies in the heart suddenly admire. The original manager had already checked the other party's details. No wonder people can be managers, but they are just a little juggling. As soon as something happened, the gap would not come out. What shall we do now? The staff immediately humbly asked for advice. Wait, isn't that Zhao Gangbao going to shout someone? With his character that he must report, he will definitely come back in a while, maybe he will destroy something, and they will count the losses when they leave. Who is this bastard, who is not good enough to mess with those rich second generations? Believe it or not, he can't please this time. Even if his brother comes in person, it may not be useful. The man in a suit yelled. I thought for a while, and said again. All the losses are recorded on his head. In addition, the monitoring in the bar must be kept. This is all evidence. Don't lose it. When I copy it, I will send it to the boss to see. This incident involves several martial arts, we ordinary people cannot get involved, we can only get the boss. After Wang Ting left, they didn't have the mood to go elsewhere to play, so they went home. I came home, more than 10 o'clock. King Wang Ting did not go to Ji Xing Wuguan again, went online at home, looked through the materials, and deepened his understanding of the martial arts era. This incident tonight is also a wake-up call for him. Randomly encountered a small foolish person, whose strength was almost close to the intermediate martial arts. If it wasn't for the 2 days he was desperately picking up attributes and brushing levels, he would definitely not be able to close the field tonight, it would cause a disaster. Although those who practice martial arts do not account for a high proportion in the billions of people. The problem is, throw them in the crowd, you don't know when you will run into it. What if I get a formal warrior in the future? Isn't it a matter of moving your fingers to make yourself and the Wang family hurt? He learned lessons from his previous life, he did not want to experience it again. When Wang Ting just reborn, he had a sense of crisis in his heart, and now this sense of crisis is even stronger. Must become an official warrior as soon as possible. A martial artist, even a senior martial artist, is not enough. Only by becoming a warrior can he be a little self-protective. At more than 11 o'clock, Wang Ting took a bath and was ready to sleep. He picked up his mobile phone and set an alarm clock. He would get up early tomorrow. Turn on the phone and display 2 messages received on WeChat. Although the world was only in 2009, WeChat already exists, and it has been popular for a long time. Everyone has a circle of friends. Especially the warrior's circle of friends is the most sought after and welcomed, because they can enter the realm through the cracks in time and space. So I took a lot of wonders of different worlds, even exotic beauty with exotic styles. Nowadays, drying clothes, bags, and luxury cars are all low. A world is the grade of high-end atmosphere. Wang Ting looked at it, 2 WeChat, one was sent more than an hour ago. Wang Tinga, I'm home. From Bai Wei. Followed by a cute expression pack. Another one is 3 minutes ago. Wang Tinga, I'm going to sleep, good night. From Bai Wei. Followed by a sleeping expression pack. When is this girl so polite, even if you say it at home, you even learn to say good night to sleep? Wang Ting looked strange. He thought about it, it was sent 3 minutes ago, should he fall asleep now? 4 minutes. I still do'n't want to go back, lest she wake up again. Wang Ting brushed a few circles of friends, and when he saw nothing interesting, he put his phone down and closed his eyes to sleep. For less than a minute, his breathing gradually stabilized and he fell asleep. On the other end of the phone, in the Pink Princess room, Bai Wei waited for a long time, but she didn't respond, and Xiao's face could not help showing disappointment. Pop. She threw her cell phone and rolled madly on the bed a few times, very depressed. The next day, Sunday. Wang Ting got up early again, had breakfast, and left home with a reassuring expression on the face of old father Wang Xingguo. I finally can't feel that look. After the sports car drove far, Wang Ting shuddered. Is this the legendary love gaze? Hiss, so terrifying. Not long after, Wang Ting arrived at the Xingwu Museum. There are some attribute bubbles scattered on the lawn and the road in the Wuwu Pavilion. He picked it up and went into the martial arts training building. There are several trainees in the lobby on the first floor. Wang Ting roughly looked at it, basically the first group of people who came yesterday. Wang Ting was very impressed with them. He thought he was early enough. It turned out that he was earlier than him, and he was very hard-working. But in the way of diligence, Wang Ting, I will not give up. King Wang Ting walked over and greeted him politely, picking up the attributes of several people. Basic Sword Technique *1. Basic Body Method *1. Strength *3. Basic Boxing Method *2. Speed *5. It's a good start. Cool Crooked. After picking up attributes, Yu read the book www.yuyukeangshu.com. Wang Ting didn't stop and went straight to the second floor. His actions caught the attention of several students. The young man who practiced swords couldn't help but reminded him, the martial arts regulations stipulate that lower-level warriors are not allowed to go up to the second floor. I know, thank you for reminding me. Wang Ting turned his head back and smiled, however, last night, I accidentally broke through the intermediate martial arts. After speaking, she had already climbed the second staircase and could not see anyone. I calmly finished loading, waving his sleeves, without taking away a cloud. The young sword-setter stayed in place. What did he say? He asked the other students some incredibly. Is this kid just here yesterday? These people did not answer him directly, but asked another question. No, he came on Friday night. I met him, another student said suddenly. After practicing for 2 days, you became an intermediate martial artist. Just kidding. Absolutely impossible. He must have practiced martial arts before he came to the martial arts. Obviously, he is a rich second-generation man, rich in culture and rich in money. He has money at home, and martial arts are always much earlier and easier than us. This statement is unanimously agreed by everyone. No one believes that there will be people in this world who use less than 2 days to transform from a war-fighting scum without a chicken to a low-level warrior, and then promote to an intermediate-level warrior. Is simply heaven and earth. That genius can't be described at all, it can only be called a demon. Of course, except open cheating.